Hello my reptilian friends, I'm Azalea and today we're carrying on with some more Heart of the Woods. And without further ado, let's just jump right in. Her shop looks just about how I expected. Piles of junk are strewn across chipped shelves. Many items aren't displayed so much as they appear to have been tossed and then forgotten. A thick layer of dust covers everything. Tara is already bobbing around the store examining some worryingly fragile ceramics. Morgan passes by her and back to the front counter, where she sets down the book she was carrying. Its title catches my eye. Complete collection of classic fairy tales. The book looks extremely old. I wonder if it's an item for sale here. So, are you done looking around town? If she had any guess what kind of response we got today, she doesn't show it. She's still impossible to read. I've seen enough for today. Can we still take you up on that lunch offer? Sure thing. I've got something on the stove already. I figured you'd be coming over soon.
Stove? Your store has a kitchen.
Yeah, I have a living space set up in the back since I sleep here most of the time. Feel free to look around. I'll be back. She disappears behind a curtain leading to another room, leaving us surrounded by treasures. And the whole town feels like an antique. A rocking chair and a few pieces of farming equipment probably aren't the biggest draws. I'm surprised she's even able to keep the place open. Tara's enthusiasm doesn't seem to have dimmed a bit, however. She takes time to examine each piece, turning it over in her hands like she's appraising fine art.
At least one of these is probably cursed.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's probably the grandfather clock over there.
No way, that's too easy. And even if it is cursed, it's probably something lame like making your toe hair grow twice as fast. But this? Well...
Tara takes an item off the counter, holding it close to her chest. It's a lamp, but the stand is three very realistic pigs standing on top of each other. The lampshade has "These Little Piggies" printed on it like a scripture.
This is the big leagues. You want a curse that's gonna last for generations? You use this bad boy. Hey, you think Morgan would mind if I brought my Ouija board in here?
As she says that, she puts the pig lamp back in its rightful place, where it can't hurt anyone.
I wonder how that works, actually. Like, if you bring two cursed objects to the same place, do the evil spirits get into a turf war? Or do they team up to defeat humanity?
Did you seriously bring the Ouija board again?
That Ouija board has been on every single trip with us. Besides, it fits in my suitcase.
I pick up a small ornament from a shelf nearby. It's a snake made out of crystal. There's no price tag attached, if you have to ask. Morgan pulls back the curtain she went through. Okay, food's ready. She comes out carrying an enormous tray that's probably also an item for sale here. On the tray are steaming bowls of some kind of soup, as well as a pitcher of water and a loaf of bread. She sets the tray down on the counter, doling out portions to each of us. Hesitantly, I try a spoonful of the soup. It's delicious. It has a rich and meaty flavor, but isn't too heavy. And it's hot, but not too hot to gulp down. I dip some of the bread into the broth. That's delicious too. Everything here is definitely homemade. This is really, really good.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Thanks. Let me know if you want more. Morgan stolidly keeps eating, the praise barely seeming to register on her. It's a shame. That's probably the one nice thing I'll have to say to her all trip. Once she's finished, Morgan picks up her book and starts to read again, while Tara and I are still in the middle of eating. I glance over at Tara, who is very intently staring at her spoon. She finishes her bowl and rattles the spoon around a bit.
Can I take you up on that refill?
Of course. Without looking up, Morgan picks up both her book and her bowl and heads into the back again. She emerges a moment later with a fresh serving of soup, which she wordlessly sets down in front of Tara. Only after we've both taken our last bites does she finally close the book again. All done?
Yeah, thanks.
I'm done too, thank you. Let me get these out of the way then. She hauls away all the dirty dishes before rejoining us at the counter. So, what are your plans for the rest of the day? I fight back the urge to tell her that she should be the one making plans for us and showing us around. At least this way I can get back to the cabin sooner.
We're still figuring that out. We hadn't gotten to see you much, so we decided to come over.
Oh, right. I'm sorry about that. I'll take a couple days off, starting tomorrow.
You sure? We don't want you to miss out on any business or anything.
There aren't that many customers who come through. You're the first ones all week, and you don't even count. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to react to that, so I don't say anything.
That's too bad. You got a lot of cool stuff. I was looking around some while you cooked.
I wouldn't get too excited. I just make up interesting stories for the items so they sound more entertaining. It helps pass the time.
Right.
Morgan says it so casually that there's no way she knows just how relieved I am to hear that. It lines up neatly with what I already suspected, that everything Morgan included in her email is even more made up than usual, and that this is all a colossal waste of time. Most likely she's a fan of the show who wanted to trick us into coming out here. And we fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. If Tara has realized any of this, she of course doesn't say anything. But judging by the way her enthusiasm vanished, it seems like she's starting to get it. Again. Fiddling with some silver knickknack, she looks up from the counter to Morgan.
So, can we see the talking cat?
As soon as Tara asks, I can see Morgan's eyes light up with interest. Her hand slides away from the book she'd been about to open. Oh no. Of course. I'm sure she'd be happy to finally meet you. Her voice wavers, just the smallest bit, with what sounds like excitement. It's the first shred of emotion I've detected from her since stepping off the train. I'll go get her. Just give me 1 minute. Morgan exits once more, but this time through an actual door instead of a curtain. We probably could have gotten out of here without seeing the cat, you know.
Why would I want to do that? This is the piece de resistance.
She doesn't even try to pronounce it right. Are you serious? Still? You know it's not going to actually talk, right? I can't fathom how there's even a trace of belief rattling around in Tara's skull.
Did you see her face? She's definitely not joking. Unless she's just really bad at telling jokes.
That would be the most normal thing about her so far. She just told you flat out that she makes up stories and tries to get other people to believe her. How can you not see that we are getting scammed too?
Come on, Mads. Try to have a little bit of faith.
The door opens once more and out strides Morgan. There's also the soft sound of little kitty feet on the hard wooden floor. Morgan's supposed talking cat emerges. She's a fluffy white cat with bright blue eyes. Talking or not, the cat staring up at me is undeniably beautiful. Its white fur seemingly glistens like snow, and its eyes are a piercing azure blue. Tara leaps from her seat and crashes to her knees. The cat doesn't flinch at all, despite the commotion.
Oh my god, I love her! I love her so much!
She looks up at Morgan, eyes as wide as dinner plates and fingers wriggling.
Can I pet her? Please tell me I can pet her.
Galadura, can she pet you? The cat doesn't say anything, of course. It does rub against Tara's waiting hand, though, causing her to let out some sort of mix between a coo and a sob. I can tell Tara just got her money's worth out of the trip. Go on, say something. These are the two I've been telling you about. Tara, Maddie. Morgan gestures as if introducing us to her. She looks between the cat and us expectantly. Seeing its master's attention, the cat goes from nuzzling Tara's hand to nuzzling Morgan's leg close by. She meows happily. The cat, not Morgan. Come on, you're going to make me look like an idiot if you don't say something. Morgan uses her foot to nudge the cat towards Tara, who's still crumpled on the floor. The cat indignantly tries to escape, claws scraping uselessly against the wood. Finally, Galadura scurries away, sitting down and licking a paw. Her tail swishes rapidly as she and Morgan stare at each other. And then... absolutely nothing. What a surprise. I'm not even disappointed, just vindicated. Even Tara's enthusiasm is gone. She coos at the cat half-heartedly, but overall she's just trying to give Morgan an out. Come on, Galadura, they're waiting. It's like watching a car wreck. I can't look away. Morgan sticks to her act, scowling at the wholly mundane cat. It doesn't seem to faze Galadura, who simply yawns and settles down onto the floor, just out of Tara's arm's reach. Whatever previous excitement she had just about evaporated, and is instead replaced with some kind of mixed frustration. That's when I start to realize a horrifying truth. She finally looks away from us, twisting her fingers together and gritting her teeth. When it seems like she's decided on what to say, she turns back to us. I'm sorry. I don't know why she's being so stubborn.
Well, you know how cats are.
Tara manages an extremely fake laugh as she gets up and steps closer to me. Tara was right about one thing after all. Morgan wasn't lying to us. But now Tara's realizing where she was wrong. Morgan's also crazy. Doesn't seem like she's acting. It seems like Morgan's genuinely shocked that her cat didn't greet us by name. She talks to me all the time. I told her you two were trustworthy. That should be enough. It's fine. I'm sure she's just shy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she just met us. We've got plenty of time for her to warm up to us, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. We should probably just give her some space for now and try again later, maybe in a few days. At this point, I don't care. It's a good thing I've played along with everything so far because it allows us to make a diplomatic exit. I guess you're right. Still, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. She'll get over herself soon enough. She glowers at the cat, who's still napping peacefully.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Tara steps back away from the counter and into the display area again.
Anyway, thanks for lunch, Morgan. We really appreciate it.
We, have a couple more places we want to check out today, so we'll probably head out again. Okay. Come back here when you want to ride back to the cabin. Her expression is back to unreadable.
Right, sure. Thanks so much. Good to meet you, Galetto.
Tara waves at Galadura, whose ears twitches, but otherwise can't be bothered to acknowledge us. The heavy door slams shut behind us as we step into the cold. I wonder if Morgan will remember to switch the sign back the other way. Outside, the wind has picked up a bit and there are clouds starting to close in. The nice day that had been shaping up seems like it might not happen.
Alright, so I'll admit that was kind of awkward for everyone involved.
Great, I'm glad you can admit it. That doesn't help us any.
Next time we see her, we just won't bring up the cat. Hopefully she won't either. We can just pretend it didn't happen.
Next time? What do you think is going to happen next time? That she was saving the good cryptids for the second time we hang out?
We can ask her about the spirit or the lights, that kind of thing. We get some spooky shots of the woods and we're golden. We're pros at making that kind of content interesting.
Usually we at least have something to work with. She made it up. There is no dark side to this sleepy, boring mountain town. It is just a boring mountain town, and she pretty much straight up admitted to that. I don't get how you aren't as upset about this as I am. We just spent thousands of dollars to fly across the whole world for a month. And the person who invited us out here is either a liar or a lunatic.
It's only been a day, Mads. We've only seen a fraction of what there is to see around here. Just give it some time, alright?
It's been a day, and look where that got us already. Literally every single person we talked to told us to stay away from Morgan, and then we saw it for ourselves. How are you not pissed off about this? Tara shrugs.
Don't you think you're being a bit harsh on Morgan? She's been super cool with us. Like, okay, yeah, the cat thing was weird, but it's not like she tried to hurt us or anything.
I start to shake my head, forcing myself to cool off. Keep getting too worked up over this. Can't tell if Tara's being intentionally stubborn or what. But technically she's the one who bankrolled this whole trip, and I'm still getting paid for my time here. So if she's not upset about wasting all of that, then fine. I'll meet her at the train station in a month and she can do what she wants. I don't need to get so bent out of shape. Okay, you're right. Maybe she's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to the cabin. Are you coming with me?
Wait, already?
Yeah, I've got enough to get started, plus I need to unpack.
Oh, okay. You gonna ask Morgan to hitch up the carriage?
No, it's fine. I'll walk.
You sure?
Yeah, I seriously don't think I could get lost in this place anymore. She seems uncertain, probably because of my sudden mood swing.
Okay, I'll probably do another lap around the village. Maybe get Morgan's input on some stuff.
Okay, see you later then.
See you.
I turn and walk away so I don't have to see her staring like a lost puppy. She'll get over it. As I head through town and back towards the path that will lead me to the cabin, I walk fast and look down for most of the way. Nobody tried to stop me or talk to me, and if anyone's staring, then I don't catch it. The trip back to the cabin is easy, even though it takes me around half an hour on foot. If nothing else, I should be in pretty good shape from all the walking by the end of this day. I spend the whole walk fantasizing about home, my comfy bed, my film collection, our cat BT. Well, technically he's Tara's cat, but I take care of him most of the time. Speaking of cats, I wonder how Tara will explain to Morgan why she's on her own. Well, that's her problem, not mine. Alone, the cabin is oppressively silent. I turn on the heater, partially just for the white noise. Soon, its rumbling fills the air. I grab an apple from the small bowl of provided food and then head into my bed, setting up my laptop in bed next to me. I usually try to watch a film a day, but that's difficult when I'm traveling. Now's the perfect time to catch up, though. I open up my library and start scrolling through, looking for something I haven't seen before. Ideally a comedy or at least something with a happy ending. I've just gotten through the L's when there's a knock at the front door. I nearly dropped my apple. Who would be knocking? Tara and Morgan both have their own keys. Knocking comes again just seconds later. Whoever's out there is super impatient. My head thumps in my chest. What if we're being cased for a robbery or something? I hide my laptop under the blanket as I hurry into the living room. There's a third knock, right as I reach the door and I peek outside to see a shock of orange hair. It isn't Morgan, but instead her mother. I open the door right as she prepares for her fourth knock. Just how fast does she think I can walk? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Madison, wasn't it? That's right. I'm coming in. She pushes past me, not even giving time to fully realize it wasn't a question. I guess she does technically own the place. Inside, Evelyn surveys the area slowly and impassively, as if judging our taste in luggage and belongings. How can I help you? I wanted to make good on our promise from last night to talk. Please, have a seat. She moves some of the stuff on the couch, gesturing for me to sit. I obey, too taken aback to do anything else. How has your first day in Eisenfeld been? I trust you found everyone very accommodating and everything to your liking. It was fine. Everyone's been very kind to us. I wonder if she'd be surprised at how the villagers treated us. It seems better to just pretend everything went well for the sake of not offending our host. Good, good. Where's the other one? The other what? The other one with you, Tara. Oh, she's still at Morgan's shop, I think. Evelyn raises an eyebrow, though her eyes betray no curiosity. It looks like a purely symbolic motion. Is she now? I assume, then, that you found something not to your liking there. Her gaze is piercing, and I absent-mindedly tug at my scarf. I can't get a read on her, neither her intentions nor her feelings. It was fine. I just wanted to come back early so I could take a nap, and get started on editing the footage we took. I hope my lie is convincing. I don't want to tell her that I think her daughter's crazy. She doesn't seem to question it. I see, I see. Did she show you that awful cat? Galadura? Yes, so she did. I hate that creature. Always underfoot, getting in the way. I just sit quietly, not sure how to respond. Anyway, Madison. Please, tell me about yourself. I didn't have much forewarning about your arrival, so I'm rather in the dark. The tone is suddenly friendly, but not warm. She smiles, but it doesn't seem to fit her mouth. The lips seem to stretch a bit too wide. I'm probably just imagining it. As concisely as I can, I tell her about Tara Normal and the kinds of things we investigate. Throughout it all, she doesn't express any opinion one way or another. Just nods occasionally. And what brought you to Eisenfeld? I hesitate. How much has Morgan told her? Anything? Morgan told us that there are a lot of ghost stories and legends around here. Lights in the forest at night and whatnot. Tara really liked the sound of a vacation out here. Evelyn sighs deeply. It's jarringly melodramatic after a total apathy during my explanation. That daughter of mine, always lying and making up ridiculous tales. It's been the same her entire life, hysterically dragging people into her fantasies. It's something I've never been able to knock out of her. She shakes her head sadly, standing up from the chair she'd been occupying. I'm sorry to say that you're simply the most recent victims of her lies. It's a pity, but you won't find anything like that out here. Besides, it's dangerous to go into the forest, especially at night. We wouldn't want anything to happen to you, after all. After all, that's why we have the rules that we do, for the safety of everyone. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of your time here in Eisenfeld, though, as disappointing as it might be. It's nearly the exact same thing that the people we interviewed in the village itself said. It's almost like they rehearsed the answer in advance. With long, deliberate strides, Evelyn crosses the living room to the front door. I'm sure I'll see you again. She doesn't wait for me to respond. She just leaves, the door slamming shut behind her. I sit in silence for a while, unsure what to make of it all. So Morgan's own mum thinks she's as ridiculous as I'd suspected the whole time. That's pretty damning. Though I doubt it will change Tara's mind about anything, I'll have to let her know when she comes home. I stand up and head for my bedroom, passing by the chair that Evelyn had been sitting in. As I go, for a moment, I swear that I feel a breeze, frigid and cold. But the moment the thought crosses my mind, the sensation is gone, like it was never there. Shivering, I return to my warm bed and laptop, and to a long overdue break. Hours later, I hear the sound of the front door opening and closing. I peek out of my bedroom, worried that it might be the mare letting herself in again. It's just Tara, though, alone. It's been a few hours since we parted ways, and I'm not as annoyed with her anymore. So even though I'm kind of tempted to just put in my headphones and ignore her, I get up and head into the living room. She stands at the sink, flipping through a notebook. I knock on the edge of my doorframe as I enter, so that she can hear me coming. Hey. Hey. Rather than looking at me, she keeps reading her notebook. Well, pretending to. There's no way she could actually be reading as fast as she's turning the pages. I decide not to call her on it. No point in starting another fight. How'd it go?
About the same.
Is that good or bad? She doesn't respond. She must really be upset about this morning. It's not like she's being unreasonable. Now that I've had some time to rest and recuperate, I feel kinda bad about being so harsh towards her and Morgan. Morgan's mum came by earlier. That gets her attention. She shuts the book and turns around. Gotcha.
Really? What for?
Just wanted to introduce herself. I told her a bit about who we are and what the show's about.
What did she think?
I don't know. She didn't really say much. She was really weird. Like, in a different way than Morgan, she seemed really intense, I guess. What I mostly remember is how she was glaring the whole time. Never seemed like she was anything other than angry about something. Smugly, Tara holds up the notebook she was just perusing.
I know you're gonna call BS, but Morgan was telling me a lot of stuff about her mum. Like some seriously crazy stuff. You wanna read it?
She offers me the notebook. It hangs limply. Giant frown in the air. She's used that thing for so long that it's lost all its rigidness. I shake my head. I'll take your word for it. I've heard enough crazy stuff from Morgan for one day. I don't need to hear theories on how her mum is actually the spawn of Satan or something.
Figured. Make any progress with the new vid?
Not really. We're gonna need more footage before there's enough to really get started.
That mean you're coming with us from now on, or what?
Yeah, I will. Sorry for being bitchy earlier. Again.
Don't sweat it.
She strikes a pose.
Just make sure to bring your A game.
I roll my eyes, but I'm smiling. Even though we bicker a lot, I'm truly grateful that it's always easily patched up. Yeah. I can't promise that I'll buy into a word of what Morgan says. The least I can do is try to be polite about it. The tension resolved, Tara yawns and flaps her notebook at me again.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go hit the hay soon. What about you?
I'll probably watch a film first. I'm not that tired yet.
How many times can you watch 2001 without getting sick of it?
I don't know, but I intend to find out. Tara and I each head back to our bedrooms. As I go, I feel a bit better about everything. Just because I'm quitting the show doesn't mean I want to lose Tara as my best friend. We've been friends for over a decade, So of course we've had our disagreements and arguments. I think the longest we've ever gone without talking was a month. Still, over the last few days, it's felt like we've been coming dangerously close to saying something that goes too far. Either one of us. And thinking back on today, I can't really pretend that I'm not the one who was mostly at fault. Even when I'm aware that I'm losing my cool, sometimes it feels like it's hard to stop. Tara totally had it coming, though, at least some of the time. From now on, I will be better. I won't let myself be as obnoxious as I was today. For everyone's sake. I climb into bed and set up my laptop, getting comfy. In the dark with my headphones in, it doesn't take too long to immerse myself in the familiar feeling of a film that I love. That's what I appreciate about movies. No matter the circumstances, they can help you escape. My eyes are getting heavy, and I pull the blanket up to my chin. The computer is balanced in just the right spot to not fall off the bed. All things considered, it's a cozier setup than I could have hoped for from a cabin out here. Sure, the Wi-Fi's bad, but it gives me an excuse to catch up on my backlog. Everything's perfect to fall asleep. Ah! The sound of something knocking on my window makes me leap up. It's past midnight, there shouldn't be anyone here. Maybe it's a bird or a squirrel or something? From where I'm lying, I'm not able to see. Should I yell for Tara? No, not until I know what it is. If it's just some wildlife, as is probably the case, she'd never let me live it down. Still, my heart pounds as I slam my laptop shut, killing the only source of light. Without it, the room is pitch black. Dark enough that I can't see what's at the window, but hopefully it can't see me either. If this turns out to be a lost rodent or something, I'm gonna feel real stupid. I stalk over to the window, prepared to cut and run if I need to. Slowly, I raise myself up to eye level. Hey. Ah! Morgan is pressed against the window pane, looking into my room with one hand resting against the glass. Do you have a minute? God damn it. The tension drains out of me, replaced immediately with exhaustion. I should have known. You couldn't knock? I did. I rub my temples and sigh. She's technically correct. The worst kind of correct. Okay, I guess I have a minute. But if you're going to come in and talk, please use the door. Of course, I'm not going to climb through the window. Color me shocked. I head into the living room and hesitate in front of Tara's door. Should I knock? Knowing her, she's probably already asleep. I've always been jealous of her ability to pass out instantly. I decide to leave it up to Morgan. There must be a reason she knocked on my window, not Tara's. I unlock the front door and let Morgan in. She's waiting with a thermos of coffee in her hands, like usual. Sorry to bother you. I know it's late. It's fine, I was still awake. Not for much longer, ideally, but I keep that to myself. Were you working on the video? Nah, just watching a film before bed. Can't do much until we have more footage. And even then, I left most of my setup back in the US. We sit down on the couches, just like her mother and I did earlier. All her faults, at least Morgan isn't as terrifying as her mum is. Does Tara help with the video work at all? Not really. I've tried to teach her stuff once or twice, but she's not interested in learning. That sounds like her. Yeah. I'm a little put off by Morgan already feeling like she knows Tara and what she's like. I guess that's a result of watching someone online for so long. You start to think you know what they're like, even though you only ever see one side of them. We get it a lot, so I'm kind of used to it. Sometimes it can become a bigger problem, though. People think they're entitled to us acting a certain way because they've seen it online. Fortunately, Morgan hasn't been that way at all. Yet. I do wish that she would get to the point of why she's here, though. But instead, she gets up and heads to the kitchen area, retrieving a coffee mug from the cabinet without ever turning on the lights. I twist around to watch as she pours some of the coffee from her thermos into the mug, and then loads that into the microwave. Must not be a very effective thermos. At least she's polite enough to make sure the microwave door doesn't slam. She leans against the counter, barely visible to me. Tara told me that you're leaving the show after this trip is over. Of course she did. I must have made a face because Morgan clears her throat loudly. Sorry, was it supposed to be a secret? Nah, it's fine. But yeah, that's the idea. I'll go back and finish school. I see. That's a shame. I know you hate when it happens, but I've always enjoyed the moments when you're on camera. Thanks. I'm just camera shy. Ironic, I know. She's yanked me on screen enough times that I'm a bit used to it by now, though. Morgan hits the stop button on the microwave a second before it dings. She retrieves her coffee and returns to the couch. But I guess that's why things seemed a bit tense between the two of you, right? Before I can answer, she shakes her head. Actually, sorry. That's none of my business. You're fine. It's that obvious, huh? A bit. You've seemed tense whenever I see you. That's actually the main reason I came by. I promise it wasn't just to be nosy. I was starting to wonder. I came by to say that I'm sorry. I know that you're also uncomfortable around me. She says it so nonchalantly as if she were telling me about the weather. I bite my lip. I mean, she's not wrong, but I don't want to just say that. It's okay. You don't have to spare my feelings. I guarantee I've been called worse than whatever it is you're thinking. It's just that I'd sleep better tonight if I cleared the air between us first. She takes a long sip of coffee that should be hot enough to scald her mouth. I can't fathom how she could sleep at all, or if she even needs to anymore. I mean, It's nothing like that, nothing personal, really. I'm just a cynic, I guess. If it makes you feel any better, I'm the same way for pretty much every episode. You just get the behind-the-scenes experience this time. Morgan shrugs. I can't blame you for thinking I'm crazy or full of shit. But I can promise you that I'm not stupid. It takes me a beat to realize that was a joke. It's fine. I'm always the skeptical one out of the two of us, after all. There's just a lot going on, like you heard. So I'm sort of a mess all around right now. It's not your fault. I half laugh. At least, not entirely. She smiles thinly, seeming to appreciate my bluntness. To be perfectly honest, you weren't really what we were expecting either. She sets the coffee down, looking interested. Really? Yeah, we were prepared for someone super fangirly and all over Tara. Annoyingly so, not me. Right. Even in your email, you seemed a bit more... I don't know how to not say this rudely. Interesting? Engaging? Not monotone? More energetic. Phew, she saves me again. Yeah, pretty much. The emails that we had exchanged back home had lots of smiley faces, exclamation marks, and other cheery touches. In person, however, seeing Morgan smile at all is a rarity on its own. That makes sense. I wasn't trying to trick the two of you or anything. It's just easier to be open like that online, I guess. I understand. That much, at least, I really can empathize with. I know that you don't know me, and that so far, I haven't given you any real reason to trust me or believe me. But I do hope that you'll at least give it a chance. Tara Normal is really important to me, I've been a fan for years, but I'm not the type of person who would invite you to the middle of nowhere just to meet Tara. I invited you out here for a reason, and I'm confident in that reason. But I understand that you'll need more proof than that. I wait to see if she has more to say, but that seems to be it. Thank you for telling me all this, though. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry for being so dismissive. It'd be nice to be wrong for once, so I hope that we do find all that stuff you talked about. I really do. Tomorrow night, I was going to show Tara around the woods a bit. Would you like to come along? Yeah, I'll be there. I don't especially like the idea of wandering the forest at night, but I can't exactly say no after I just promised to be more agreeable. She nods and takes a careful swig of her coffee, then she stands. Cool. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I'll get out of your hair now so you can get some rest. She heads for the door and throws it open without waiting for a response. Temperature plummets right away and she turns back. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it too. But just so you know, I'll prove you wrong. She closes the door and disappears into the night. We head to the appointed meeting spot, right at the turn of the hour. Even during the day, the forest felt hostile and foreign. But now at night, it's downright scary. Each rattle of a branch is a demon's footsteps. Every gust of wind is a monster's breath. I stand close to Tara, treading on the backs of her feet several times.
I think this is supposed to be the place.
I look around the area. It's indistinguishable from the rest of the woods. My only comfort is the tiny pinprick of light that represents our cabin, back at the forest's edge. A feeling of dread creeps its way up my spine. What if this is a trap or a setup? Maybe Morgan's just lured us out here into the middle of nowhere and is waiting out of sight with a knife in hand or something. Considering we traveled thousands of kilometers to get here, if this was a trick, we fell for it hard. Maybe we're early? I know that we're not. Tara sweeps the flashlight around, illuminating a few identical trees before the light's beam peters off into oblivion.
Maybe we should just go back.
The light passes over Morgan, suddenly a meter away from us.
Ah!
Tara jolts backwards, crashing into me. The flashlight plummets to the ground, bouncing once before stopping. I keep my balance, barely, and catch Tara's arm to stop her from falling. Are you okay?
Short term, yeah, but I think I just lost 10 years. What about you, Mads?
I'm fine. What on earth were you doing? Me. I was waiting for you.
Where? Didn't you hear us?
Just over there. Sorry, I had headphones in and missed you.
You were just standing in the dark, in a forest, wearing headphones.
Yes. Why? At a loss for words, I can only shrug. Does hanging out alone in the dark, in the middle of nowhere, not register as weird for Morgan?
You just spooked us is all, no worries.
She stoops down and retrieves the flashlight from the snow, drying it off on her sleeve. She brushes off the snow in the same way she brushes off Morgan's actions.
Anyway, it's all good now. What now?
Morgan turns and faces the trees, shining her flashlight across them. I thought we could walk around a little. It might help you to get a better feel for the area. Behind Morgan's back, Tara and I exchange a look of concern. Tara gives me the slightest of shrugs. I'm still reluctant, but I nod. If Morgan's planning to kill us, it's not like it'll make a difference whether she does it here or in the forest, and I'm pretty sure she's not a murderer anyway.
Sure, lead on.
Morgan sets off without another word, and we follow just a couple paces back.
Are we going somewhere in particular?
Not really. I doubt you want to go too far this late at night, right? Right. That's fine. We'll stick to the edge then. As we walk, Morgan keeps her flashlight pointed straight ahead in the direction that we're going. Tara, on the other hand, swings hers around, looking up trees and out into the abyss. She and I only brought one flashlight with us. The spare is sitting in one of our suitcases back at the cabin. I regret leaving it behind. Just on the off chance that we somehow got separated. So, did you learn anything useful today?
Not really. We went around town some, but
most people didn't really want to talk?
yeah.
How'd you know? That's how it is around here. People are mistrustful.
I was kind of surprised by that. Figured with how out of the way it is here, that we might have been, I don't know.
Treated like celebrities?
Hey now, don't project. But something like that.
It's more like they isolate themselves by choice. They have internet and TV. It's just that lots of people choose not to use them. I'm guessing they probably had some not so nice things to say about me too, right? Neither Tara nor I respond. Our silence lasts a beat too long. It's okay. I'm used to it. You don't have to pretend or anything. Light shines in our faces as Morgan turns around, half smiling. Hey, you two don't need another assistant back where you live or anything, right?
Ah.
My mouth flaps like a fish while I try to think of a diplomatic response. But then Morgan laughs and faces forward again. Just kidding. We trek on in awkward silence. I'm not even sure what we're supposed to be doing or looking for. We're just wandering in the dark, trusting that Morgan knows how to get back to the cabin. It's cold and my feet are sore, and I'm once again regretting coming to Eisenfeld. I gently tug Tara's sleeve, right by her elbow. When she looks at me, I silently gesture back towards where we came from and shrug, hoping she'll get the message. Now, she mouths back. I nod. She gives a worried look over towards Morgan, who's now slightly farther away. Tara holds up 5 fingers. 5 more minutes. Sighing, I nod again. I hurry to catch back up with Morgan. Something wrong?
Oh no, Maddie had something in her shoe.
Oh. It's hard to tell if she buys it. I wouldn't. Mentally, I'm counting backwards from 5 minutes, already imagining the comfort of my bed and blanket back at the cabin. I'm going to survive a whole month of this is an issue for future me to worry about. I got lost out in this part of the forest once. 3 minutes and 32 seconds. 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Don't worry though, I know my way around now.
Yeah, they mentioned something about that.
I step on Tara's foot again, this time totally on purpose. I thought they might. The tone is still completely nonchalant. At least Morgan seems impossible to offend. It's too bad it looks like it's going to snow tonight. We probably shouldn't stay out too late. Thank God. Yeah, that's too bad. I'm sorry this was so disappointing. I'd hoped that there would be more to see. What exactly were you expecting? It's the middle of the night.
Come on, Mads. It's about the atmosphere. It's way spookier out here when it's dark.
I know, that's half the problem. We can turn back now, if you'd like. Before I can agree, Tara shakes her head.
Nah, let's give it a couple more minutes. You came all the way out here for us, after all.
I glare at Tara, but I think she misses it. I've lost track of my countdown, too. Whatever. The small, apologetic smile that I barely noticed does little to assuage my discomfort. We trapeze aimlessly through the snow for a while longer. I stare at my feet, more than at the path ahead, and simply follow in the footprints left behind by the other two. So I nearly slam into Tara, who's come to a complete halt yet again. What now?
I saw something.
You did. Tara, stop messing around. Let's...
No, I mean it. I saw something.
I shut up. I can tell by her tone that she's serious. She saw something, or at least she thinks she did. The three of us turn and face the way she is. It's even deeper into the forest, barely lit by the moon.
There was a light.
Someone else walking around? There shouldn't be anyone out at this time of night. It's dangerous to be in the woods once it gets late. I opt to not point out the obvious hypocrisy. It was probably moonlight or something.
It wasn't the moon, Maddie. There's something out there.
Both of them point their flashlights in the direction Tara's looking. Aside from more trees, there's nothing to be seen. Tara.
Maddie.
She grins.
This is what we're here for. Come on.
Tara breaks into a run, leaving Morgan and I behind in surprise. We exchange a look before Morgan runs off after her. I have no choice but to go too. The regret is almost instant. Cold knives pierce my lungs with each heavy breath. I'm not in the best shape to begin with, and the snow and boots don't make things any easier. The only consolation is that we're running in a straight line, so it won't be hard to follow our path back. Every so often we pause to catch our breath. The pace is catching up to Tara too, who has to fight to keep her smile on. Morgan seems unfazed by it all. I'm about 3 seconds away from demanding that we give up when I see it. The girls spot a mysterious pink floating light in the forest, and Tara points it out to the others. Way off in the distance, too far to identify the source, is a light. It sparkles and glimmers like a star that fell to earth. I fall silent, the words stolen from my mouth. Then Tara points, stating what we already know.
There it is.
Buoyed by her second wind, Tara runs off again. This time, Morgan and I are close behind. We follow the light, which sometimes blinks out but soon reappears. I'm too focused on not slipping and falling to give much thought as to the source. There's no telling how long or how far we've been going. Somehow, the light never seems to get any closer or farther away. It's like it's running from us.
Hey, wait up!
Tara yells out into the darkness. If whatever it is can understand her, it ignores her. Running is quickly becoming difficult. My lungs burn from the cold and my breathing turns ragged after barely a minute. Tara pulls further and further ahead from Morgan and me, a one-track mind fixated on that light. After a bit longer, I hit my limit, and my pace slows back to a walk, then a stop. I fold over, hands on my knees, as I gasp for breath. Morgan crunches to a stop just ahead too, turning back towards me. Are you alright? I try to respond, but I'm breathing too heavily to be able to talk. I just wave my hand, gesturing for Morgan to go on without me, but she doesn't. Are you sure? I force myself to stand and nod. I'm fine. In the murk, Tara's become a disembodied light herself. Only the flashlight's glow visible. I watch it bounce to a halt, and then slowly make its way back toward us.
You guys give up too easily.
How are you not dead? I haven't seen you run in years.
That's 'cause you never hit the gym with me.
I don't know if she's joking or not, and I'm too worn out to care.
So, what was that thing? Do you think it was your forest spirit?
Morgan's eyes widen. You believe me? Tara shrugs.
I'm considering it, at least. I mean, what else could it have been?
Fairies. Morgan says it very nonchalantly. I side-eye Tara, who is very interested in her boots. The forest spirit doesn't really make a light like that. At least, not that I'm aware of.
Right, that makes sense. Doesn't it, Mads?
It was probably someone from the village. But as I say it, I know how unlikely that is. The way the light seemed to always maintain a precise distance was unnatural. I can feel the seeds of doubt being sown in my heart. But it was definitely strange. Tara looks at me with more pride than a rainbow flag.
Hey, holy shit, that's practically canon in Maddie terms.
I roll my eyes, but it's partially just for show. I'm curious, at the very least. I wouldn't call myself a believer as much as Tara wishes. But that's 2 strange things so far, which is 2 more than I expected when I boarded the train out here. It was strange, but that's as much as I'll give. A yawn overtakes me in the middle of speaking. It doesn't help the pain in my lungs.
Oh, guess it's past your bedtime, huh?
I kick some snow at her, and it bounces uselessly off of her pants. With the way we've been bantering with each other, it really does feel a bit more like old times. Make that 3 strange things on this trip so far. We should begin heading back anyway. We can't go much further in before I'd be lost, too. You still know where we are? Yes, of course. We'd be in trouble if not. She has a point. I got so caught up chasing the light that I lost track of what direction we'd come from. I'll show you around more tomorrow. There's something you might like to see.
Yeah? What is it?
A surprise. We'll go tomorrow before it gets dark. It's a bit of a walk.
Does it have to do with whatever that light was?
I have no idea. It's possible.
Story of my life. Okay, well, we'll call it quits for tonight, and pick back up tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess. That's fine by me.
Great.
She hops forward, then pauses.
Guess you ought to lead the way.
Morgan smiles as she does just that. It takes us only 15 minutes or so to reach the cabin. We must have added a lot of time to our trip with all the wandering we did. Morgan bids us farewell at the door, which I barely return before stumbling inside. I'm halfway out of my boots by the time Tara's inside.
Guess you're not staying up late then.
I'm out like a light the second I hit the bed. Tara grins, just briefly.
Right.
My hand is on the doorknob when Tara clears her throat.
Hey, thanks for, chasing after that thing. I appreciate you playing along.
My hand lingers on the door, poised to turn. Yeah, of course. Let's see what we find tomorrow.
Right, yeah, right. Good night.
Night. I quickly step in and then shut my bedroom door before Tara can say anything else. As I switch off the lights and crawl into bed, I remember the end of the train ride here. I felt the same just now, standing there, not knowing what to say. It would be so easy. Banish those thoughts from my mind and wrench my eyes shut. There'll be time to worry about it tomorrow. I have time to think. We have a month. As I slowly drift off to sleep, the exhaustion that I feel winning out over the stress, the last thoughts I have are of dancing lights in the snow. We start to fall into a bit of routine. Every day, Tara and I will get up and explore Eisenfeld or the surrounding area a bit. We never go too far into the forest, but just enough to set up some dramatic camera angles, or to film some monologue segments for Tara. Once Morgan's done with work, she'll join us or show us around. Sometimes she brings her cat with her. Surprise, surprise, it still hasn't said a word. She keeps promising it eventually will, though. Ever since the night we saw the light in the trees, we've hoped to encounter something equally mysterious or interesting. No such luck, though. Any sort of hope or excitement that I had, Any bit of belief that I had allowed myself to build up has been squashed back down to resigned indifference. My trademark, I know. It took about a week of this before Morgan asked us to wait for her at the cabin, saying she was finally ready to show us that thing she mentioned. She still wasn't any more forthcoming with what it was, but over the week we'd known Morgan, I'd gotten a little more comfortable with the idea. If she was going to leave us in a shallow grave or something, she'd had plenty of opportunities to do that already. The heavy clouds overhead promise a darker night than the past few, and probably heavier snowfall. We won't be able to stay out very late. Even with Morgan's guidance, the possibility of being caught in a snowstorm is hard to ignore. Tara paces back and forth outside as I linger in the doorway, trying to enjoy the warmth from the cabin for as long as I can. Finally, a fashionable 15 minutes late, I spot Morgan heading down the trail from the village towards us. Tara zips off to intercept her, and the two of them approach together. Hey, sorry I'm late. Work was a little busy tonight. No worries. Well, that answers one of the myths of Eisenfeld that I was curious about. Whether or not anyone ever actually shops at Morgan's store. Tara bounces around between the two of us, raring to get going. Morgan smiles approvingly at her.
So, you said you had something special planned for tonight, right?
She spent the whole day trying to guess what it is.
I think I've narrowed it down. It's either a crashed UFO, the Fountain of Youth, or Elvis.
Those are the ones you narrowed it down to?
Someday, Mads, it's gonna be Elvis, and you're gonna wish you'd believed me.
I face Morgan, pointedly turning my back to Tara. Anyway, we're ready to go if you are. Do you both have flashlights? We're going to be heading a bit deeper into the woods this time. We both hold up our lights in unison. After our first venture into the forest together, there's no way I'm ever going out there without us each having a flashlight. Just having one makes me feel more self-reliant. It helps suppress my anxiety a little bit. Just a little. Great. Follow me. We circle back around the cabin and head into the woods. I've been waiting to show you two this since you got here. You're going to love it. Tara starts to vibrate again, clearly soaking up the suspense. As much as I hate to admit it, she's got me pretty curious too. I'm not sure what she could be keeping secret out here, and for so long. This isn't going to be dangerous or anything, right? Probably not.
I like those odds.
We set off at a fairly brisk pace. Tara makes it a point to walk right by Morgan's side, taking short and hurried strides. If she doesn't find out where we're going soon, I'm pretty sure she might actually explode.
Okay, I'm gonna keep guessing. Ancient graveyard, fairy circle, satanic ritual, Sasquatch den.
Close. It's a church. Tara stops dead in her tracks.
Wait, a church? Was Maddie right when she said you were going to try to get us to join a cult?
I never said that. I might have said that. Despite our antics, Morgan never stops or slows down. Nothing like that, I promise. It's really old. Older than any of the buildings you've seen in Eisenfeld. The people who built it are ancestors of the residents today. I guess they were what you'd consider pagans. They worshipped a god of the forest.
Whoa.
I expect more to the story, but that seems to be Morgan's stopping point for now. She focuses on the path instead, swinging her lantern around in an arc as she looks for whatever it is that's telling her where to go. Every single tree around me looks identical, but I guess one of them is a little more special than the rest. When she sees whichever one that is, she starts to lead us on again. My glasses start fogging up a bit more as we walk. I should have insisted that Tara layer up a bit more. I'd be a pretty crappy friend if I let her freeze to death out here.
So, to summarize, your great-great whatevers and the rest of the villagers built an old church out in the forest to worship a giant forest spirit. And that's what we're going to see right now?
Right.
Have I mentioned that this is going to be the best episode of the show ever?
Morgan's got Tara hanging on to every word, hook, line, and sinker. I'm glad she's having a good time, at least. No thanks to me. You said it's older than the rest of the village. Do you know about how old? Centuries, at least. I don't know how many. I've done some research on the history of Eisenfeld, but none of the books really mention it. How'd you learn about it, then? A lot of it comes from old journals, or other documents left behind by the people who used to live here. Parts of it are passed down as family legends, too. The image of Evelyn and Morgan sitting cozily by a fire while Evelyn tells stories is one that I can't imagine actually happened. I'm not going to pry into the details of that, though.
You think we could take a look at those journals sometime? Maybe we could show them off on the show. Authentic first-hand accounts, or something like that.
For some reason, now Morgan stops, looking ponderous. I also realized that it's starting to snow. Just barely, but enough to make me bite my lip and watch the sky. I'd be happy to show you.
Score! You're seriously the best. Like, thanks for doing all this.
It's nothing, really. Don't all your hosts do the same? A lot of them only stick around for the first day or two, and once they realize there's a lot of filming and setting up behind the scenes, they get bored. For all her issues, I can't deny that Morgan's been a much more gracious and helpful host than we're used to. We walk in silence for a little bit. All the while, the snow continues to fall, getting heavier and heavier. At first I try to ignore it, but it's hard. Like always, it seems it'll fall to me to be the responsible one. Hey, Morgan? Are you sure it's safe to keep going? It's starting to snow pretty hard. Both of them look up, as if they hadn't noticed. Oh, you're right. Now it's Morgan who turns around and looks back the way we came. I can practically hear the gears turning in her head. Tara watches, looking anxious. Oh, so she only worries if Morgan starts to look uncomfortable. It's going to get bad pretty soon. She says it so matter-of-factly that at first the severity of her words don't register. Then, every single alarm bell in my head starts ringing. What? How soon is pretty soon, and how bad? I'd say within the next half hour. Those clouds don't look good. That's an understatement. They seem to be moving almost impossibly fast. Just like that, the weather has gone from a light snow to the start of a blizzard. We need to turn back then. Back to the cabin. We take a couple of steps, but the fresh snow has made it harder to walk. Even the trail that we just left has been partially obscured. We're closer to the church than the cabin. I think we should go there and wait it out. Wait it out? What if it doesn't just pass by? What if we're stuck there for days?
It's better than being dead, you know.
I turn to her in disbelief. No shit it is. Morgan wrings her hands, looking genuinely distressed. I don't know what's going on. I don't think it was. Once again, she looks back in the direction we came from, lost in thought.
We're just wasting time standing here arguing, you know. Morgan said we should go to the church, and she's the expert.
I'm loath to call her an expert at this point, but Tara's right that we don't have time to spare. We're definitely in dire straits if she's the one being the voice of reason. Fine, let's get going then. We don't waste any more energy on talking. We just follow Morgan as closely as we can. The light from her bounces in the wind, reminiscent of the light we followed just a few short days ago. I focus on it, using it as a beacon, since it's easier to keep track of than Morgan herself. I bury my face into my scarf as much as I can, feeling the wind push against me and making it harder to walk. By now, the world around us is starting to grow more and more blurry. It'll be a whiteout before long, My heart beats hard in my chest as my anxiety starts to skyrocket. We keep walking, huddling closer together as we press on. Tara keeps a brave face, but she's shuddering more with each step. Morgan and I push a little closer to her, hoping to help shield her from the wind as much as we can. When we get back, if we get back, I'm not letting her take another step outside until she agrees to start wearing something warmer. After what feels like years, we come to a stop. My legs are leaden with the effort of marching through the snow. I'm afraid that Morgan's going to say that we're lost, but then I realize that we've arrived. Just ahead, a huge stone building stands tall. For its supposed age, it looks remarkably intact. The howling winds buffet it, but even from here, it looks infinitely safer than being stuck out here. A pair of massive wooden doors loom before us. Just give me 1 second and I'll get this open. She grabs a hold of the door and starts to pull. The freezing wind works against her. For a tense moment, I worry that she wouldn't be able to get them open. But then, with a creak that's audible even in this weather, they slide open to let us in. After you. We don't need telling twice. Tara and I hurry inside, with Morgan letting the door slam shut behind us as she follows. The first thing that strikes me is the temperature. An old stone building in the middle of a blizzard should be frigid, but it's not. In fact, it's almost warm.
Mads, we've hit the jackpot!
A shout reverberates around the massive chamber, leaving a faint echo in its wake. When Morgan said a church, I figured it would be some small wooden shack with a tacked-on steeple, but this? Tara's flashlight beam dances wildly along the walls as she spins in circles, trying to take in every last detail all at once. This is nothing short of incredible. I let my light drift as well, but slowly enough that I can actually take the time to process what I'm seeing. The whole interior is remarkably well preserved. A few broken pews, a couple pieces of collapsed stone, and a layer of dust on nearly every surface are the only things that make the place seem anything less than brand new. Looking closer at the building itself, I can see various flourishes or designs decorating the walls and railings. Whoever built this place, they built it as a labor of love. The centerpiece is a massive stained glass window that dominates the center of the far wall. Its brilliant colors form an intricate pattern. I make my way over to Morgan, who's currently watching Tara dart around the building with a small, satisfied smile. It dissipates as I approach. Even though I'm relieved to be out of the storm, I can't believe we ended up in this situation in the first place. Before I can say anything, though, she beats me to it. I'm really sorry about this. I truly am. If I'd thought the weather would turn so foul, I'd have never suggested we come out here. The last thing I want to do is place you and Tara in any danger. I just wanted to show the two of you something tangible, something different. I swallow my harsh words. Chastising her wouldn't do us any good. Plus, she's right, the weather changed way faster than I would have expected, or even thought possible. So I just rub my shoulders, trying to massage some warmth back into them. Don't apologize yet. There's still plenty of time for us to die of starvation or something like that. I think it's more likely that we'll die of exposure first. Well, that's reassuring. Suddenly, a beam of light swipes across my face. It comes from Tara on the other side of the building.
Hey, come check out these books!
Morgan and I both start to head over. By the way, how do you keep it so warm in here? I was looking for a heater or something, but couldn't find one. It's magic, I think. You know what? I'm not even gonna argue. Tara's waiting excitably next to a stack of books. That's probably a first.
Check it out.
The wooden shelves are warped and damaged beyond repair, but I've still retained their shape pretty well. The books that line them are in similar condition. When I remove one, its once soft cover is cold and frigid, and the text has faded into illegibility. But flipping through the pages, a few of them are still readable, or at least would be if I could understand the language.
Tell me these aren't filled with ancient incantations or something.
These aren't filled with ancient incantations. She holds up a book to her face and blows a puff of air towards me, filling my face with dust. I wrinkle my nose, coughing and spluttering. Hey, what the hell? You don't know what's floating around in here.
You're literally the only person alive who could be in a haunted church and not care at all.
She never said it was haunted, you know. And I'm sorry that I'm still a bit too shaken up over, almost dying in a snowstorm.
Psh, we weren't ever in any real danger, I'm sure. Isn't that right, Morgan?
Actually, I wasn't sure we were going to make it here. Tara's eyes widen, the reality of the situation hitting her at last. Then she grins.
That makes this an even more badass story for the vlog. Matt, you'll have to go hard on the wind sound effects. Maybe we should set the camera outside, get some footage of the blizzard.
She hurries over to where I'd abandoned the camera on one of the pews and picks it up, dancing around as she frames mock shots. I open my mouth to tell her how dumb that is when a trickle of dust spirals past me. The whole church shakes with a slight tremor, and more dust is displaced. Earthquake? That would be the icing on this cake. It would also be horrifically ironic if we survived the blizzard only to die in a freak earthquake. Something tells me that's not what this is, though. There's another tremor, slightly stronger this time. And with it, a distant boom, like something shooting a cannon in the forest. The three of us exchange a glance, silently. For once, even Tara is silent. Boom. The stained glass window rattles. I hear Morgan stuck in a breath. When I look at her, her eyes are wild and confused. The thunderous sound is getting closer. Then there's another sound. A blistering crack that I recognize as a tree splintering. No winds, no matter how strong, should be able to do that. Wordlessly, Tara heads over to the front doors. Though my first instinct is to call her back to what I hope is safety, I find myself more curious than afraid. I have to know what it is. I have to see it. Morgan lingers behind us, unsure of what to say or do. Tara reaches the doors and presses her shoulder against it. She pushes the doors open. Just a crack, or at least she tries to. But the terrifying wind catches and rips the doors all the way open, as if presenting the scene before us. I struggle to comprehend what I'm seeing. An immense monster towers over the trees and church, putting all of Maddie's doubts to rest. It has antlers and glowing red eyes. Tall, taller even than the trees, stands what I can only describe as a monster. Two enormous, luminous red eyes peer out across the black expanse of the night sky. Neither the howling wind nor the biting snow seem to affect it at all. Oh my god. That's not possible. This can't be happening. This can't be real. My legs are about to collapse under me. My heart drops like a rock in my chest, and every heartbeat sends a rush of blood through my body so strong it drowns out the cacophonous storm. Tara fumbles with the camera, her hand shaking violently. Cursing, trembling, she struggles to lift it up to her face, repeatedly losing her grip as she tries to focus on the thing in front of us. I don't know how she can even have the presence of mind to do that. My thoughts are a blur as my mind does its best to process what I'm seeing. It's like the forest itself come to life. Like a whole mass of trees just uprooted themselves from the ground to form something that can't possibly exist. Branches twist and contort into each other. One tree splits into 10. Wood, rotting into decay and growing anew again, spin from the impossible red center. Two immense horns pierce the sky, looking like lightning bolts permanently imprinted against the clouds. Every thought that I can manage to form is fleeting, Every rational part of me tells me that what I'm seeing shouldn't exist, that it isn't possible. Yet here it is, undeniable. All I can do is stare. The red glows brightly, burning my eyes, like it's staring right back at me. Maybe it is. The beast shuffles forward, its feet obscured by the forest below. With each movement, there's another massive echo. Trees crackle and snap beneath its immense weight like twigs, flattened to nothing and buried under the snowfall. Slowly, the beast lumbers off into the night and is swallowed from sight by the darkness. Soon, even the sounds of its footsteps fade too. I'm not sure how long Tara and I remain in petrified silence. I realize that I've fallen to my knees, though I have no recollection of it happening. I feel like I have no recollection of anything, that nothing will ever make sense again. At some point, Morgan comes to my side, helping Tara and I back indoors. My whole body is numb with either shock or the cold, perhaps both. She leads us to one of the benches that's mostly intact. I collapse down onto it, my legs still unwilling to support me. I glance at Tara. All the color is gone from her face and she's still trembling. I probably don't look much better. For a long time, none of us know what to say. We sit and wait until long after the snow has stopped falling and morning arrives. Okay, and I think that is a good place to end. That is the end of Chapter 1. I hope everyone who's been watching has enjoyed, and I'll catch you all next time. Goodbye.